Well, it's mid-May, and it's the sound of spring. So you hear birds, and then you hear mowers and blowers. Well, Jan, it's always something in the garden, isn't it?
Sure, exactly. I love this time of year. There's so much to do, so much to see, so many surprises that come up where you forgot you planted them.
Yeah, definitely. That is the fun part.
But I went out the other day to Seabright Nursery, and that's only part of what I bought. I bought a bunch of ferns and a bunch of hostas to put on the woodland garden on the south side here.
Well, how fun.
I'm going to be doing that. And then the other thing to mention, because a lot of people are putting new plants in, is to dig your hole, put the hose in your hole. And it's called mudding in. Put the hose in the hole and fill it with water. Put the root in there, take it out of the pot, put it in, and pull the root system apart a little bit. Put your soil back over the top, and that will help that plant get established much better than planting it and then watering it.
Wow, that is a good technique. I think we don't think about that one.
You can plant clear into summer that way, but this time of year, it's already dry.
Yeah, it's going to be something this year.
Yeah, it is. I picked this up in back the other day. That's, what did we say, 13-foot circumference.
It's a huge one.
Fir, grand fir, not grand fir, Douglas fir. Anyway, this is not uncommon. The outside bark on a fir like that is like our skin, and sometimes some comes off. And sometimes too you might get a woodpecker or something that'll make a hole in a couple places and it'll be a little weaker and fall, or they're looking for insects. But if you see that, your tree is fine.
It's still okay. Don't worry. Don't really get panicky.
It's fine. Prune spring blooming plants after they're done blooming. If you prune them before, you aren't going to have you're not going to have those flowers. So keep in mind, you can deadhead for rhodiots or azaleas, but there's all sorts of other spring blooming plants that you can prune.
Like candy tuft.
Yes.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, all sorts of different things.
Excellent. That's
so,
a good tip.
and let's see. Guess what?
Uh-oh, the lemon, the infamous lemon.
Here's the lemon. And it had scale really badly. And I realize I am, do as I say, not as I do. So I got rid of the crawling stage of the scale because it's not as protected as it is when it matures, and with insecticidal soap.
Okay.
And there's hardly any scale on this now at all. So the insecticidal soap, keep in mind, my husband used to say when we were teaching Master Gardener program, unless the insect is there when you're spraying it, all it's going to do is get clean feet when it walks by later.
Okay, it has to be on it.
Yeah, so this one is doing really well. I have been fertilizing it about every 2 weeks, and I could do it more. And it's a lot better, has new growth. Same thing with this gardenia. I always get good flowers, but I've been more religiously pruning and fertilizing it, so it's doing really, really well.
It's beautiful because they're a little tricky, but you just really have to keep up on the fertilizer. That's a good tip.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, there's a lot of areas we have weeds, and we're sure we're going to spray them out or we're going to dig them out or whatever. But if you don't get to it, use a weed whacker, a mower, or something, and just keep them from going to seed.
Yeah, I know. I always go take my dandelion flowers out.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to it later, but man, I get those flowers out right away.
Yeah. And really the last thing is that when you bring up plants, either annuals, perennials, whatever it is, check the bottoms of your pots, inside, the edges, to make sure you're not bringing any slugs into your garden or into your greenhouse. Mm-hmm. I had a slug in my greenhouse, and I had a whole flat of zinnias, and they mowed them off. I have like 4 left out of a whole flat.
Oh.
So be careful and make sure you might be doing put some slug bait out in your greenhouse or out around your new plants.
Right. No, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
And then, people are at home and, we're really doing a lot of things in our garden, but if we didn't plant yet, it's mid-May, is it too late to plant vegetables?
Not at all.
Oh.
Not at all. The latest Ray and I ever put our vegetable garden in was June 22nd.
Okay.
And if you look at a tomato you put in then and you look at it in September, you won't be able to tell the difference of the ones you put in April.
That is
And you
good.
can still seed all summer long. Just figure out if it's a warm season crop or a cool season crop.
Okay, that is good because sometimes we procrastinate and
Oh,
we just
sure.
haven't. There's so
Not
many
too late.
projects and we
Not
haven't
too
gotten
late.
to it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for all this information. We'll see you next month. And if
Okay.
you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv. We have loads of information on there. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye bye.